There's a question about whether it's appropriate to continue editing Prabhupada's books after he's departed. But as far as I understand, the service to the spiritual master is a spiritual matter. It's not dependent on his physical presence or not. We should continue our service the same, unless the Guru tells us, after I'm gone, don't do this anymore. We have to understand the spiritual nature of this publishing, editing activity, just as the activity of having translated these books, as Prabhupada did, has to be transcendental. It's not a material activity. There's somewhere, I think, at the beginning of the 8th canto, before starting writing that canto, Prabhupada made a little preface in which he says various things. One of them is that this work of rendering this divine literature into translation is materially impossible work, which means that it's not by any material ability that you can do it. It's only by being empowered. The empowerment comes originally from Krishna, and it's transmitted through the Guru Parampara. And the devotee who receives those blessings, he's empowered to do the service. Prabhupada was empowered to render what Vyasadeva spoke in the Bhagavatam, and to explain what Krishna is and what the science of devotional service is. He was empowered to present the Bhagavatam, the Gita, and these other books. And therefore, the devotees who consider themselves followers of Prabhupada, they consider this the foundation of our spiritual life, is what Prabhupada wrote in his books. And we don't doubt that Prabhupada was empowered. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the faith to be his followers. But that empowerment is a dynamic thing. The one who has the empowerment, if he has enough of it, he can empower others. That's how the parampara is a parampara, how it continues from generation to generation. Because there are acharyas who are so empowered that they can empower the next generation. We shouldn't doubt, despite all the problems we've had in ISKCON, we shouldn't doubt that Prabhupada had the power to empower his disciples. And I'm convinced that there are certain disciples whom he empowered to edit his books. He ordered them to do it. They did it because he wanted to do it. And as far as I understand, unless there's some letters or instructions that are hiding, he never told them to stop editing, to stop doing their service after he left this world. Jayadvaita Maharaj in particular, Dravida Prabhu, they have been empowered by Prabhupada to make his books as presentable as possible. They understand what Prabhupada wanted them to do with his books. When a technical mistake is there, a spelling mistake, a grammar mistake, he wanted them to change it. He gave those instructions. And they're simply carrying out those instructions, as Jayadvaita Maharaj and his predecessors did under the direct instructions of Prabhupada when he was present. Now they're just continuing to carry out the same instructions in the same way. They're not making up some, deviant strategy of undermining Prabhupada's books for some political purpose. Let anybody discover the political purpose in Jayadvaita Maharaj for doing the things he did. They may disagree with some of the changes. Even a mistake could be made in the editing. When a devotee is empowered, doesn't mean that he becomes God and that he never makes mistakes. There's a difference between being infallible and being empowered. The disciples of Prabhupada, even the ones who fell down, they were empowered by Prabhupada to do what they did. They pleased Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave him his blessings, and therefore they were able to do so much service. And still some of them may have fallen down. You don't become God by getting the blessings of the Guru, but you become able to carry out the mission of your Guru. And let the critics show, where Jayadvaita Maharaj is not carrying out Prabhupada's desire in what he's doing. Rather than quibbling over what's original and what's a mistake and what's a change, let them show any fault in his faithfulness to Prabhupada. He's doing what Prabhupada wanted him to do. And he should be supported, given all support and gratitude for doing that.